Hey, I finally figured it out. Welcome to Monks Alive. It's good to be back. It's good to be here. It really is. I just, you know, you never know from one day to the next what's going to be, and I really wasn't sure. Last weekend had some issues. I was channeling my inner Max, and went ended up in the hospital for a couple of days. So, but speaking of Max, just want to let you know who's joining me today. Oh, not Al, not Tony. Max. Max is joining us now. So let's bring him up here and have some fun. Hey, Max.
Yeah, old heart attack himself.
How are you doing?
Not bad, not bad. I still have some occasional pains from the stent being in place, but that's about it.
Okay.
Other than that, it's been pretty good. At least I'm still breathing.
Well, that's good. That's a good habit to keep.
How are you doing after your issue?
I'm feeling really good. It took me
Good.
a few days. It took me a few days. And you know how it is. I took and went.
Oh,
Hey, Deb, I'm good to
yeah,
have you here. I was went into the hospital. Let's see, it was Saturday, and they pumped me full of drugs, and it took until
yeah,
probably Thursday for all that stuff to flush out of my system that I felt like
yeah.
anything. And then Friday I felt better. Saturday I felt very good, and now I feel
Yeah.
fine. But
Well, I gotta go. I gotta go see the doctor again here on Wednesday. I got
okay,
to do a 300 mile round trip to do it.
I tell you, you're out there. You're
Yeah.
out there.
Well, that's what happens when you live in a dinky little town with just a small hospital.
Yeah,
You got to go a long way to see a specialist. So,
yeah, true, true. Uh, yeah, our town's not big, but you know, I had a friend that just went through Wisconsin or Wyoming, and he was talking about just how huge Wyoming is. I said, "Oh yeah, you can drive hundreds and hundreds of miles and not see another car."
yeah. Oh yeah, especially in the winter.
Yeah,
Especially in the winter.
yeah,
Allergies are killing me.
it's that time of year. I wake up in the morning and it's just like somebody's turned on the faucet, and then
Oh yeah.
uh,
Yeah, I was doing a little work around the house today, and I had to keep running for the Kleenex box because otherwise I was going to run right out of my face, be
uh,
hanging off my nose. Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
that's
uh,
not good.
not a good look.
Oh,
So, what have you been up to? You had a video that came out.
man, nothing. I haven't been up to a whole lot because all I've been doing is, doing exercises, little chores around the house, nothing that can get me into any kind of trouble with my heart. So, and but after I see the doc this week, we'll see where that goes. If he's gonna let me go out and do any hiking around, I got a gear review I want to do next week. I won't have time to do it this week, but I want to do it next week. And I'd prefer not to do it in my backyard if I can help it.
Yeah. Is there any place that you can go and just sort of do, like a really, really short in and set up and
Oh
do
yeah,
or
we've got a little 1 mile out and back walking path that's just like 6 miles outside of town, and then the desert. I can go out there, and I'm only about 4 or 5 miles out of town. So
and do you have signal out there? Phone signal?
yeah, out in the if I stay in the on the hills out in the desert, I got a signal out there. But if I get into any of the depressions or the creek beds, it goes away.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another benefit of Wyoming. There's not a whole lot of cell coverage.
Yeah. Oh my.
You can literally get away from it all, including a cell signal.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Have you, do you get to see, I mean, I know the nights and the stars are just amazing there.
Oh yeah.
But
yeah.
the Milky Way, do you see the Milky Way at all there?
I haven't really looked at it because I don't know. I'm no good at filming that stuff, so I don't even try too much. Except when I'm out camping or something, then it's nice to just sit out, let the campfire go out, and you can see everything. So that's nice.
Yeah, it's just amazing. I
But
did
I'm
a
not
video.
good at filming it like you are.
I'm trying to get there. That's sort of the direction I'm going.
You're getting some good shots. You really are.
Yeah, it's I'm trying. I just got a new
eclipse shots. Those were nice.
Which one? The eclipse?
Your eclipse shots were good. They were nice. I like those.
I was tickled. They turned out good. I wish, and maybe, well, if I'm here for the next eclipse, maybe I'll do it. I wish in some ways I'd have gotten a tracker so that the camera would stay, kept it framed up, because each shot had to reframe the camera, get it back in, and so it was just a challenge to sort of keep it in one spot on the lens.
Yeah,
so
I would imagine so. Yeah, tracker. Well, if you're going to do those kind of shots, the tracker would probably be a good investment for you.
Well, maybe they're expensive.
Depends on how much you want to do it,
Exactly right. I see if we got a comment here. See, Kevin, he's down in Texas, and he gets some awesome views there. And it seems like the further south you are, the better Milky Way shots you see.
Yeah.
And this is actually a season. I didn't know that there's a season that the Milky Way is visible in the North Hemisphere. And it's like March to October. And then in the Southern Hemisphere, it's just the opposite. So. But yeah, and what I didn't realize, now I've got all these different apps that say, okay, this is where it's at. And so you train your camera on where it's supposed to be at, and I look at the sky and I see the stars, and it looks sort of like there's a cloud, but you don't really see much more than just a cloud. And I thought it was the clouds on the horizon. And then so you take the picture and you bring it back in here, and it just pulls everything out. All of the gases, the colors, and everything. The camera does a great job of pulling it out. Desmond's getting back into astrophotography, so
the camera can see it, but you can't see it with the naked eye. That's what you're saying. Oh, well.
You see a little discoloration, but you don't see the bright greens and oranges that the camera pulls out. So, it looks different.
I see that David with Desmond's Daughters is looking at getting into astrophotography too. So they're in the comments.
I'd love to see David's pictures, because he's far enough north that he's getting more of the northern constellations and stuff.
Oh, he probably gets the aurora there quite well too.
Yeah, now
We
I
can
wonder.
see it here once. We can see it here once in a while, but not very often.
Yeah, yeah. Well, when I was stationed in Wisconsin, I remember one night, I had all of the staff come over to the house, and we had a big dinner for the staff on the installation. And it was winter, it was cold, and we were all sitting around talking, and I thought there was a fire because I see something, glowing, and I thought it was a fire. And sometimes I looked outside, went out on the porch, and it was like 17 degrees outside, but it was the aurora,
Uh,
and the northern lights were just, and it had a show, and it was the only time in 2 years that I saw it was that night.
yeah.
Yeah, I bet, David, I bet you do can reach out, feel like you reach out and touch the Milky Way. I would love to see that. Love to see that. Hey, Byron, how are you doing, brother? Good to see you on here. But yeah, I'm planning on maybe next week going out and trying to do another Milky Way shot. Um, but right now, the Milky Way, it's not coming up until now 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, well, you ain't gonna see me up that kind of time of night.
Oh, I thought you were joining me.
Yeah, I'm getting my beauty sleep. Yeah, you can see it's not working.
Well, you can see I don't bother because I've given up on beauty sleep. It's not gonna work. It's never gonna work. Oh, but yeah.
Oh,
And I had a friend that visited me this weekend from Colorado, and took him out to where I had done had that that countdown before the show today with the eagle. There's a place.
yeah.
There's a place
Yeah,
about.
that was a good intro shot to put on there.
There's a pair of eagles about maybe 6 miles, and I've gone there several times and done that, and it's been really nice. So Byron's getting ready to do the AT, and Mika asked a good question. Byron, are you doing a section or are you doing a through hike of it? But yeah,
See, Don's on the PCT, isn't he?
he is. Yeah,
Uh,
he's probably a couple of 100 miles into it by now. He sends me a note every once in a while to say, hey, where he's at. Shout Allie's here, and I think my
see. No, I just saw Travis came into the
okay
into the chat there. Oh, my eyes are itching out of my head. God.
I'm starting to shift the focus of the videos over toward the outdoor photography end of things. And there's one girl that she's been watching me, and she had all these questions. She wants to know all the cameras. What shutter speed am I using? What's the aperture? What's the ISO? She wants to know all of that stuff. So I think I'm gonna do that with the videos and put the picture up, and then I'll put a block there that says, okay, these were my camera settings, and so folks, if they want to try it. But I'm just I would even calling myself an amateur is bragging, because I'm not that. I'm not even an amateur. I'm a point and shoot kind of guy.
Yeah, I'm point and shoot on auto.
I love it. Today I went out, and I've gotten, of course, the eagles and the hawks, and gotten some cardinals at the beginning of spring. But it used to be cardinals were hard to get, but blue jays were everywhere. But now I can't find blue jays. But today I found a pair, and so I got them too. So
Ah,
I got them too. Yeah.
yeah. What?
David,
Waste ammo? What?
he's the
What are
wrong
you
kind
talking
of.
about, David?
He's talking about something different than this. He's not
Oh,
talking about.
okay. Oh, well. Well, when I do that kind of shooting, David, I do aim a bit. Yes.
Yeah. Yep. It's ready,
Yeah.
fire, aim.
Yeah. Yeah,
Well,
I'm not the military. I can't check out all the ammo I want and go out and shoot it.
yeah.
I have to buy it, unfortunately.
And then you check out too much, and you end up having to shoot it all at the end because you don't want to turn anything back in. That's the pain. Hi,
Yeah.
Sandy. Good to have you here. Yeah, we did a lot of that, and then in demo was the same way. You know, you check out C4,
Yeah.
and you didn't want to turn it back in. So I
No. No. You check it out, you use it.
that's right. That's right. Yeah.
Oh, I heard about the demolition boys. They don't take anything back. They blow it all up.
Oh, yeah. We were on this one exercise. I was responsible for it. Blowing an abattis. Are you familiar with abattis?
I don't
An
know.
abattis. It's an obstacle that you blow up so that tanks can't come through. So you find trees on
Oh,
each
okay.
side of the road, and you place your charges on those trees, and when you blow them, they fall into each other like this.
Yeah.
And then when
Yeah.
the tank tries to push through, they're just sort of pushing up against each other. And hi, Sandy. And then so we were blowing an abattis, and we had C4, and I would put a half a block on the front of the tree, and then behind the tree, I'd put a half a block above it. So you had what they call a shears charge. So you'd blow it, this way, and then I put detonation cord up through there, so
Right.
you're blowing all at the same time. Stuff goes so fast, and so I took there and had it, and then I had way too much extra. So I took all the extra, and put it around the base of one tree, and I thought I was really being slick. I had it all around the tree. I'm out there. I'm a second lieutenant at the time, and there was a one-star general that came up that wanted to see the exercise. He wanted to see us blow. And I'm thinking, oh no, I don't need a general out here looking at this. And
toothpicks.
Oh man, he's going up through and looking at everything and saying, okay, that makes sense, because he's an engineer too. And we get to the end of it, and he sees my pile, and he looked, and he said, "What is that?" I don't know what to say. We're going to launch that one. That's going to be a rocket. We're going to launch that one. So we got way back, and we cranked it off, and all the trees were falling in together except that one, and it was going straight up in the air. It was great.
First tree in orbit.
Yep. Well, Sandy, I'm glad you enjoyed the videos. I'm glad the ladies did about the Milky Way. It was a fun one to do. I'm going to do more. The eclipse one was fun too, to put all that together.
Yeah.
And then to watch my brother's farm and all of his farm animals as the eclipse started. Uh, he's got guinea hens, guinea chickens, and those things are funny. They're not real smart, and they roll around. They're constantly moving, and they're constantly roaming around his farm. But they'll go up to the goats, and they all spread out around the goats, and they'll start clucking at each other, and telling the goats what they're supposed to do. Then they go over to the pigs. They do the same thing to the pigs. And they go to the chickens. They do
Gee.
the same thing to the chickens. Now he's got a couple of cows, and they go over to the cows, do the same thing to the cows. And they're funny to watch. But as the as the sun was going down, and it cooled probably 10 degrees. The temperature dropped while the sun's being, the eclipse is happening. And I'm focused on taking the pictures. And then when the sun came back out, all those guineas were up in the tree where they roost at night. And they all come flying out of the tree. And I guess they thought that was the shortest night they'd ever seen. It was they are loud.
So it's funny the roosters didn't start crowing when it started to get light again.
And I set up the camera because I wanted to see what those chickens would do. And
Yeah. I saw that,
that was a sort of an underwhelming thing.
Yeah, they just kept wandering around.
Yeah. But oh well. They're not the smartest either.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have any roosters. So.
Oh, well, that's why you didn't hear any. I guess the neighbors didn't either.
The neighbors aren't real close. They'd have to be really loud for the neighbors to hear them.
Oh, okay.
Well, let's see.
Oh.
Here during the eclipse, the Sandy, she had a group of crafters that came in during the eclipse, and they were doing their crafts, and I guess they watched one of my videos then. That was fun. I appreciate that. And yeah, it was funny how the temperature dropped and then how it rose again. And it just amazes me how much, what the sun, it was probably maybe half covered, and you could feel the difference in the temperature. And I get to thinking, wow, what?
It shows you how much we depend on that sun.
14 raining for 7 days. Wow. All I can say is wow.
Wow. Yeah.
I bet the flea market does want you to do that on a regular basis, Sandy. Oh, goodness. This side conversation is better than ours, man. Figuring out what Sandy's husband did while all those ladies were there. Man, oh man, oh man.
Probably went hiking or fishing.
Yeah. Oh, goodness. Yeah. Those things. I was wondering what all the sirens were doing on that side of town. They must have been getting calls about that wild party that Sandy was having. Police probably going over there. And maybe spot. Well. Oh, goodness. 64 Chevy Barrel Air Station. Oof. That would be a sweet car. That would be nice. We need to see pictures. But Tony he's in the middle of a big storm. So he
Yeah,
can't do it.
I saw his comment on that he was having a lot of wind and stuff, so he wouldn't be on.
Yeah. Yeah. And so yeah, I'm trying not to be jealous of Tony, just traveling and seeing
Oh yeah.
things like that. Oh goodness.
Yeah.
I'm working on a video right now to sort of talk about taking the channel in a different, not really a different direction, but I guess a more focused to really doing the outdoor photography and videos, because after last weekend, I think my long hikes are starting to see the end of their days.
Oh, mine are definitely on.
Yeah.
The long hikes.
I do plan
Yeah.
next April. I'm planning to go to Spain and
Oh,
do the Camino de Santiago, which is 550 miles across Spain. And so that's my plan. My last big hike, I'm planning to
yeah.
fly over.
Kat did that, didn't she?
She did.
Yeah, I thought she did. Yeah.
I had planned on doing it in 2020 and had my tickets and and two of my brothers were going with me. And of course,
Then, yeah, we know what happened. Yeah. I don't think any of us will forget what happened. So.
And yes, Beak, I do have to stay in shape for that hike. But
well.
honestly, that's sort of a gentleman's hike, to be real honest. The first day is tough. The first day is you're going over the Pyrenees Mountains. So it's about 17 miles up. About a 17 mile climb. Then you get to the top, and there's a hostel. They call them an albergue at the top. And so you spend the night there, and then you hike down, and then you hike across Spain. But you're going from village to village, so you don't have to take a heavy backpack. You're not taking a tent. You're not tent camping. You don't have to take your stove and all the your cooking set. You're not doing that kind of food. You're getting food from village to village as you go across, and so it's still a long ways, but it's a different.
Yeah.
It's different than the AT.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're going to hike it. Kat biked it, right?
She biked part of it.
At least.
And she hiked
Yeah, and she hiked some of it, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to walk the whole thing. That's my plan. And I'm planning on it to start the Camino mid-April and be done by mid-June. That's sort of my plan before it gets too hot.
Well, that'll keep you busy.
But before I do that, I hope to go and I'm planning to fly into London and spend maybe a week in the UK, and I'd love to go and visit, different folks there. I don't know if I could get up to Scotland to see David, but I'd love to. And there's an Alf in Wales, and here comes Ken, and there's let's see, Anna and Alf in Wales. There's Desmond, not Desmond. No, there's Des Green, Stephen Tramp in the Hills, and then a new guy that I started to be friends with. His name's Dan as well, and he does woodland photography. That's what he does. So uh, hope to be able to see all of those guys. But man, if I could get up to Scotland, that would be fun. But, packing all that together in just a short period of time. So,
Sounds like a whirlwind trip.
it will be. I'm looking forward. Oh, Bika's getting ready to go out west, and Ken, you're not your camera's not turned on, so let me know. I guess that's really the big news for me. That's sort of my plan, and then after that, I'll just start focusing on nature photography, wildlife, outdoors, that kind of thing. So I'm even my backpack has changed. I've got a new backpack, but it's not a. This is it. New backpack that it carries my camera gear. It's really pretty cool. You open up the back of it, and then there is all my camera equipment.
Yeah.
Instead of clothes.
Yeah. Now that you carry 20 pounds worth of camera gear, yeah.
Yeah, if I could, to meet David in Scotland for a week, I would. And my family is from that area. It's Scottish, Irish, primarily Scottish more than Irish. So I would love to go up there and see where my roots came from, and then. But David, we could set it up if you could come down to where we could meet Des, and that I would not be opposed to maybe sharing some refreshment. Okay. Ken, I think you're still trying to get in here. You're not, your camera's not working. Oh, he's on a new PC. All right.
Yeah, I know when I got my new computer, I had a heck of a time figuring out all the goodies on that thing. So that's why I still use the laptop for streaming. So
okay, it's
just easier.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. But it says you are backstage, Ken, but your camera's not on. Let me pull him up here. Maybe I can hear him. Is your audio working?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can't see you.
Yeah.
Okay. I got part of it.
Go into settings, Ken, and see if your camera is selected.
Okay. Well, David, good night. At 11:30 there, 23:30 is that's
Yeah.
You are 3.5 hours past my bedtime, brother.
Well, good night, David. Sleep well, my friend.
I'd be in the bed a long time ago. Still hiker midnight. The sun goes down, so do I. I'm like those roosters. I almost took a nap when the eclipse happened.
That's the thing about camping in the summertime. It starts to get light at 4:00 in the morning.
Well, that's true. Yeah, and I like it. I'm a morning person, so I love to get up early and get on the trail early and watch the sun come up. Oh, it's so pretty. But I'm not a night person.
Now that's the problem. If I can stay up late enough that the mosquitoes aren't out anymore, so it gets cool enough that the mosquitoes go away, then it's nice because then you can look at the stars and the moon and stuff like that. But as soon as that sun starts to go down, the mosquitoes just tear you apart around here.
Yeah. I hadn't thought about that, but I do remember on the Wind River Range, they sounded, I mean, it was like you could hear the droning of the mosquitoes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'd go inside my tent and they'd be plastered all over the screen of the tent.
Yeah. I think they even have sort of like the Air Force has the Thunderbirds and the Navy has has their I think the mosquitoes in Wisconsin, they fly in formation. and they do their acrobatics when they're coming in at you.
Oh, it's more like a drone swarm.
Yeah. Ken, I know you're still working on it. I got you with us, but it's just all you don't have your camera on.
Yeah.
About the time it's the end of the show, he'll be there.
Yeah.
That's my luck. Well, there.
Yeah.
We have some class coming into it now.
Mika.
Where?
Oh, good to see you.
I like that clock behind you, Bika.
Oh, thank you.
That's a cool clock. I like that.
It's time.
Where are you going out west?
We're making a loop and just covering like probably about 20 different states.
Are you going to come out through Kansas?
I don't think Kansas is in there. I'm not real positive about that. We're taking Interstate 40 out.
Okay. Well,
and 90 back across South Dakota.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So you'll come to Missouri. You will clip into Kansas a little bit, but not much. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Cool Quest is in the house.
Oh.
Hey guys. Good to see y'all here. It is appropriately named. I don't know if you've met them, Max, but a great couple. And,
Yeah.
they're the ones. They really got me tempted for car camping kind of stuff, and they just built a camper that's really cool. So, yeah. So we're good. We are good.
We're good now.
Yeah. Oh, here she comes
We
back.
both had our moments.
Had our moment.
There you are.
Scares. I'm not going to ask.
She's just popping in and out.
Yeah. I got to quit touching buttons.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. Once I get it going, I leave it alone.
How's it called?
When I first started doing this streaming shit, I was always messing stuff up.
Yep. Oh my.
Dan knows how bad I was at it. I couldn't get it to work.
It just, and it's like when somebody says don't touch that button,
I learned everything.
you might as well say,
Yeah, I learned everything I know from Dan.
Oh my.
Dan taught me everything. So I give him all the credit.
Oh my! That's
Yeah.
he needs a new teacher. Mika, help him out
Yeah.
here. Tell him which button to touch.
Yeah. Look at that.
Too tall. Hey,
Yeah.
brother.
Hey, what's up, y'all?
Yeah. I'm trying to, it's goofy because I'm trying to look around the side, to see. It's like when you're playing a video game and you're leaning and you're trying to make
Yeah.
it work. Oh, boy.
He's visual bombing. Yep, see, they're on the other side now.
Too tall. If you go upside down, I'm not going to know what to think about that.
Oh.
Walking on the ceiling. Oh,
That'd be a neat trick.
Yeah. Well, Johnny and Colleen, I don't. They may not know that for both Max and I, Max was much more serious than mine, but we both had a little hospital visit. And,
Yeah.
little hospital here.
And it
Yeah,
was.
I didn't know about Max's.
Yeah.
Oh, I had a heart
Sorry to hear
attack.
that was probably very scary.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I didn't think I was going to make it when I was in the ER. I didn't think so. But they pulled me through.
There you go.
Were you at home?
Yeah. Fortunately, I was at home.
Yeah,
Because if I was on the trail, that'd have been it.
that would have been bad. Yeah.
Yeah, most of the places around here, you got no cell, and by the time I would send anything out of my locator to get rescued, I'd be dead by the time they got there anyway. So,
Yeah. That's one thing people have to realize when they're on trail is even though you have that ability to call somebody or to get in touch with somebody, it's still going to take a while to get there.
yeah, they got to get there.
Yeah.
And when you're using the satellite stuff like this little Garmin, when you're using it's 20 minutes for me. It's 20 minutes to just send a signal out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then you go
Yeah.
from there. Yeah, it's scary stuff. Yeah, I was sitting in here, and
I know.
it was Saturday morning. Friday night, it started. My head was just itching, like it was on fire. and then about 2:30, I woke up, and I had broken out all over, and I was itching. And I got up and I woke my wife up. Unfortunately, I didn't mean to, but I woke her up. And then she gave me some Zyrtec because we didn't have Benadryl here. And that helped. So I felt pretty good. Went back to sleep. Got up 4:30 and came out here to do some work. And my chest started hurting like I never had before. And I got dizzy and nauseous. And I laid on the floor trying to get better. And Connie, my wife, sends me a text, how are you doing? And I'm trying to text back and I can't think straight enough. I said, I'm on the floor and I can't get up. So she come and got me in the ER. But they said it was they checked my heart. And said it was fine. They checked my brain, my head to see if there was a stroke. They said you have to have a brain to have a stroke, and I didn't qualify. So I didn't have my head anymore. And then they said that it was an anaphylactic shock that I went into shock.
No, it's YouTube.
So it was something you were allergic to then.
But I don't know what, and still don't know what.
Yeah.
So you never figured out what it was.
No,
Hmm.
no.
Well, I hope you
Allergies.
don't get in it again, whatever it was.
Well, you don't know what it was. Very possible.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've got a suspicion, but I don't know for sure. They did a treadmill test. They did a stress test, and so I get on the treadmill. They got me all hooked up, they said, okay, we're going to do 2.5 miles an hour at a 10% incline. Okay. So I'm walking, and they said, okay, we're going to raise it up to 3.5 miles an hour, 15% incline. Okay.
Holy smokes.
I'm walking. And then they said, okay, now we're going to make it fast. So, okay. So now I'm really walking. And,
Yeah.
and then they
2
turned
miles
it
an
off.
hour is pretty fast.
They said, you didn't even break a sweat. I said, is it over? They said, well, yeah. Okay.
Oh, good thing they didn't give you 45 degrees.
What is your suspicion that you think you might be allergic to?
I think I'm allergic to cardboard.
Cardboard.
I think so. It's weird. As weird as that sounds. My mail carrier, he was bringing me a package, and it was Amazon, of course. And so he's bringing me this, and he's scratching his arm, and he said, they must have changed. Allergic to housework. I'm with you. He said, yeah. He said they must have changed the glue or something, because now every time I pick up cardboard, I break out. I said, can I see what it looks like? And so he showed me his arm, and it looked just like what I had broken out all over. And that morning, before I broke out, I'd gotten some furniture that needed to be assembled, and I pulled it all out, and I'm climbing in the box to get the little parts that are in the back of the box. I'm getting it all out. So I wonder, could that be?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah. I know there's a lot of things you can be allergic to. So,
Yeah.
The allergist, he took my arm. My arm looked like it was I thought he was going to make a garden, because he had little spots all over it, like seedlings.
It could be something on the box too that got on it in shipment.
Could be.
Yeah, because Amazon is coming from all over the place.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I wish I didn't. I wish I knew. Because you're right.
I didn't tell you about my second ER visit.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, this was after I was, it was 2 weeks ago. And I started having chest pains again. And I figured, well, I'm going to go to the hospital, have it checked out. And they ran a bunch of tests on me for about 2 hours. And they said, nope, not a heart attack. It's just you're recovering from the stent.
Okay. But that's scary.
But it scared me. But
Yeah.
it wasn't the same. It wasn't the same kind of pain. It was just a nagging. It was nagging. And it was there,
Yeah.
And so I got frightened and I went to have it checked out. And It was nothing.
That's good.
So
that's good.
yeah. And I still get that once in a while.
Sure.
Do you carry the little
say-
nitroglycerin with you?
No, I don't need that. So
Okay.
I do take several medicines for it though, and I'm on a strict diet and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
because it wasn't forget what artery in the heart it was, but they had to stent it because it was all plaqued up.
Yeah.
That was what caused the heart attack. So
Not fun.
I gotta watch what I eat.
Goodness. Oh, Mika, now when are you guys taking off?
The last week in May,
Okay.
and we'll be gone about a month and a half, and we have a whole lot of hikes planned.
Sweet.
But
I'll bet you do.
but I've got some news too
Oh,
as far as health goes. The last hike I went on was
yeah.
supposed to be 2.5 days on the Palmetto Trail,
Yeah.
and pretty easy hike. But when I got to my first campsite, my knee was hurting me so bad I could hardly stand it.
Oh,
And all night long, it was shooting pains and everything. So I had to stop my hike and hike back out the next day.
oh
Um,
my.
and then I went to the doctor and they x-rayed my knee and it's a mess.
Really?
He said, you are ready for knee replacement surgery. I'm like, what
I've
does
I've
that
had
mean?
I've had one done, Bika.
Have you?
I've had, yeah, my left knee is
Okay.
is now artificial. So, I'm part robot. I
And
got a piece of steel on my heart and a piece of steel on my leg.
yeah. Did you do well with it?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I've got 100% mobility with it.
Oh, good.
So
Because I'm thinking that after I get that, I'll be ready to take off.
Yeah. When
it takes a
are
while to
you
get it back, but
when you're gonna do that?
but do the do the therapy
Oh yeah.
for it, and do the therapy for it, and you'll get your full. Well, not everybody gets the full range back, but you get a good portion of it. I got full range.
Yeah, I
I
think I will because I've always been
bend that
real.
sucker all the way.
Yeah.
I can bend it all the way. So
And I've always been real
So-
limber and everything, so I think I'll do pretty
Yeah.
good with it.
yeah, and don't fear the surgery. It's easy. The recovery is the biggest part.
It just took me by surprise because I've not been having, I mean, my knee would swell up every once in a while, but, nothing major. And when he
got
took
it.
that x-ray, I'm like, where did my knee go? All the bones gone?
Yeah,
My.
yeah.
Have you
Oh,
thought about when you're gonna do the surgery, Vicky? Have you talked about
I'm
that?
sorry.
About when to do the surgery?
Well, we got this trip coming up, so he'd give me a shot in my knee, and that's supposed to last 3 months. So probably sometime this fall.
Okay.
I've got to get to where I can have several weeks of recovery. So, Ken,
There's Pen.
Hey,
hey,
everybody, I finally made it. I put the old PC back on. Took me a while to do that, but I don't know what's wrong with the camera on my new PC. It's not recognizing. Sound like the mic worked, but the camera's not working. I love the picture on the new PC. It's beautiful, but
Oh, really?
the camera to look at.
Yeah. Well,
I've been listening. I'm glad to hear, Max, you're doing all right. Sorry you had to go back in, but boy, that was a rough spell.
yeah. Well, it was. I just went in to get checked out. I didn't know what was going on, and they did their thing, Ken, and told me that no, you're just recovering. Just is a good thing to come in and get checked out, but you're okay. So
that's good news. Yes. It's
And
good
Dan,
news.
you had a scare, huh?
Yeah, I had a little scare last weekend. It was funny because I get to the hospital. Well, I was in the ER here in my little town, which is not a hospital. It's just an ER. And so they check, see if I'm Get a CAT scan of my chest. I get a CAT scan of my head, and everything's empty. So they went from there, and so the doctor, she comes in and she says, I'm trying to decide whether to admit you or not. And I said, well, I just soon go home. And she said, well, the problem with that is if you go home and it starts again, then we got to start all over from the beginning. I said, well, that makes sense, but I'd just prefer to go home. And so she said, well, I'll go call them and I'll be back. So she goes out of the room, and I take a nap, I think. and she comes back in, and I can hear her from a long distance saying, Dan, Dan. And so finally I opened my eyes and think, you're really bugging me. I was quite comfortable. and so then she said, no, we're going to send you to the hospital. We're going to admit you. And I said, well, man, I hate to do that, but I'm not the professional. You're the professional. Okay, whatever you're going to do. She said, you'll probably get to go home tomorrow. I said, can it be early? And she said, well, how early? I said, like 7 in the morning? No, it's not going to happen. I said, well, I'm supposed to preach tomorrow. I need to go home. And she said, well, you're not going to do that. That's not going to happen. Okay. She said, we just don't want another incident. And I'm thinking, well, that's a weird comment. I had the incident at home. Okay. So it wasn't until I'm at the hospital and admitted, and Connie tells me, no, you had an incident there in the ER. You weren't taking a nap. You were in shock.
Wow.
Eyes rolled back in the back
Oh
of
my
my head.
goodness.
I couldn't breathe. I stopped breathing. It was not.
Oh my goodness.
So it was a bit of a scare. Oh, it's New Hope over in Cherryville, Sandy. It's a little church out on East 4th Street, 900 block of East 4th Street in Cherryville. In Cherryville, for you guys, it's a metropolis. I mean, I think it may have 1,000 folks.
Yeah. Hey Dan, maybe you ought to get yourself an EpiPen.
That's what they said. That's what they said. I should have an.
I think it's probably a good idea if you do, because if you're out somewhere and that happens to you, that EpiPen could save your life, my friend.
Yeah.
And it isn't adding a whole lot of weight to your pack either. Anaphylactic shock is not something to mess with.
I was surprised, and I just still wish I knew what this was going on. But I think of all of us, Bika has the hardest journey ahead of her. I'm so sorry.
Something to think about.
I don't know. That don't compare with a heart attack. That's for sure.
Well, they don't make an EpiPen for that, I'm afraid.
Dan, you had the
All
stress
they make
test,
for that
right?
is aspirin.
Sorry if you already talked about it, but did you have the stress test, and was that okay?
Well, I haven't heard back. They had me hooked up to the EKG, and the lady that was running the EKG, she said, I don't see anything, but of course the doctor's got to look at it.
Yeah.
But they also did a full CAT scan looking for plaque. And what I wish was that I did not see that Sandy was live yesterday. I wished I'd known that. I'd like to know, if there's any plaque buildup or anything like that. That would be nice to know.
Yeah.
Because then I would know whether or not how to handle. Yeah. Right now, they say I can walk a mile a day. Because I started out saying, they said no exercise. I said, well, can I walk? Well, how much?
Yeah.
I said, well, 5 miles, No. 3 months. So where is this negotiation going? I finally got him down to a mile and said, if you got to walk a mile, you can walk a mile. Just stay close to your neighborhood. Okay. So we'll see. It's a bummer.
That's what I walk in a mile.
Because Sandy says you're teaching her to leave buttons alone because she went live yesterday by accident. That's fun.
Well, we have Beak on here, so I have to ask, Beaka, we saw some pictures of alligators, and I think you said you had a story about an alligator.
Yeah. You've
Yeah.
seen quite a few alligators lately, haven't you?
Yeah, we were down in Florida, and oh boy, did we see a lot of them. One day we rented bikes.
Oh, man.
And there's a little canal next to the bike trail, and
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
we
Too
saw over
close.
50 gators that day.
Yeah. Too close.
Yeah.
Several years ago,
There was no gators along that bike.
There's a river down here called the Little PD River, and we fish in it all the time. Well, we were going fishing in our secret place, and in that place there is a huge gator. There's a big log and a big tree in the river, and that gator gets up on that tree and lays on it, and then he'll cruise around the river looking for something to eat, you know. He was cruising around the river today we were fishing.
So you've seen him before.
Huh?
You've seen him before this day.
Oh yeah, quite a bit. I mean, he lives in that area, so we saw him quite often. But we had a little small 2-man boat, and we were fishing along the bank, and we had to switch places in the boat. So I stood up and I went to step over the seat, and I realized that if I stepped down, I was going to be stepping on my husband's fishing poles, and he would be very angry with me if I did that. So I tried to adjust my step, and I misstepped and fell over the boat. I mean, into the water. And as I was looking up and the water was covering my head, one thought came to my mind. Gator.
Where is that gator at?
So I went back up to the top and grabbed a hold of the side of the boat. And my husband, he doesn't know how to swim, and he is terrified at this point. So I tried to crawl in the boat myself, and the sides were too high and I couldn't get in. And all I could think about was that gator was somewhere nearby.
And your kicking's going to bring him in.
And yeah. And so I said, help me into the boat. So he reaches over and he pulls on me until I got up into the boat. And then he says, am I going to have to take you to shore, or can we still fish?
No kidding.
Oh, boy.
No kidding.
I said, no, I can fish wet. Thank you. But that was terrifying.
I bet it was. It's too bad your husband didn't have a camera going. That would have been an awesome video. The panic.
Oh man. So
that probably would have got 1 million views.
Oh yeah, that would have gone viral. That would have been viral. Did you go back into shore, or did you stay out and fish?
Well, you guys have heard that when we were in Florida, I was standing on the dock. One minute I was standing there, next minute I hit that hole between the sidewalk and the dock, and I was at my elbows with my feet dangling over the water. My knee still hurts, today. And but 2 weeks, a couple weeks after we were there, a sailboat flipped right in that same spot, and the guy was dragging his sailboat to shore, and he got grabbed by one of those crocodiles and pulled. Yeah. Thankfully, it let go. He came up, and they evacuated him to the hospital.
Yeah.
They don't often let go.
Oh, and there's some big gators in there. They're huge.
Mm-hmm.
Mika, I got a question though. Did you stay out and fish, or did you go in? to the shore.
No, we stayed out and fished because it was in the summertime and it was, you know, it was. I mean, it felt good to be wet because it was in the 90s.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
So we did fish.
Oh, that's a great story.
Oh my.
Oh, wow.
I didn't realize that gators had come up to North Carolina. I knew they were in South Carolina, but
Well, this is in Florence. No, just outside of Conway, South Carolina.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But when I was in Columbia going to seminary, we had gators all along. We had this one trail and there were gators all over the place there.
Mm.
But yeah. But
Yeah.
I like Sandy's comment that she'd have thrown her husband in. That's what she could have gotten out.
You're ruthless, man.
Yeah.
I know that panic feeling. When I was in the Coast Guard, I used to windsurf. I was stationed in Maui, Hawaii, and I would windsurf right on the North Shore there. But I often fell, and it was a type of windsurfer that when you fall in, you can't start without the wind. It's a semi-floater, so you can't stand on it and pull the sail up. You lie in the water, get your feet up on it, and then the wind pulls you up. And every time I fell in with my feet dangling there, I would just waiting for that shark to come up.
Oh,
I hated that feeling. I couldn't get back up fast enough.
Watch these videos where the shark's coming and the diver pushes his hand out on the shark and turns it away. I'm thinking, right.
Yeah, right.
No.
but you did it anyway.
Yeah, did it anyway. Just like those bears on the Appalachian Trail. You get nervous about it if you think about it, but you don't let it stop you. You get out there.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. There's something I got to tell y'all. We didn't have grizzlies in the Bighorns. We only had black bears in the Bighorn Mountains.
Right.
Now we have grizzlies. They just killed one that got into the cows.
Oh.
No.
So the grizzlies are back in the Bighorns.
Wow.
Oh, thank you for that information just before we go out there.
Yep, they're back in the Bighorns. They usually didn't come this far south, but now they're back.
I'd always heard that you can tell the difference in the bear scat. Black bear scat, it has berries in it, you know, and grizzly bear scat has little bells in it, and it smells like bear spray.
It bells.
Oh my.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Black bears never have bothered me. I mean, and he wasn't aggressive, but he was just persistent. There was the one that stole my food. You know, he would come right up to you, like 30 feet, and yelling at you. He's gonna sit down, turn his head like, "What? Why are you yelling?" He would lumber around, but he was just persistent. He never
was used to people.
Too used to people. That's the danger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's just it. When they get too used to people, then they come in way too close.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, we're keeping you past your dinner time there, Dan.
My stomach is saying that. Bye, Sandy. We're gonna have to go. I think we're gonna land the plane here.
Bye, Sandy.
Oh my.
Well, I just want to say it's good to see both of you guys after your episodes. See, you look like you're both doing pretty good today.
Thank you, Ken. Yeah.
I've been feeling pretty good, Ken. So
I feel much better. I've been going into the office. I was in the office this morning. In fact, I was there too long. I was rushing to get back here to get everything set up for this. I always mess something up. There's always a button that I push because I push the wrong button, and I'll have a different some picture show up or some crazy thing. And I'm trying.
Pika, good to see you as well, and thanks for your comments. I did make a mistake on that
That's
one. I have
good to
another
see everybody.
Eileen, and there was a comment from both of you, and I answered the wrong one. So that's where Eileen came from.
Yeah, I had to pick on you because I read that one.
Yeah.
Who is Eileen?
And I went back and I had liked her comment, and when I replied, I thought I was replying to her, but I switched over to your comment.
Oh my.
Well, we could call you Pika, we could call you Shirley. Now we'll call you Eileen.
Yep. Oh my. Well,
As long as you don't call me late to dinner.
that's the big thing. And
That's right. That's right.
I'm
As long as you don't call me late for dinner.
Well, it's so good to see everyone. And Ken, I was glad that you finally got it sorted out to get on here. Because I was trying to bring you in, and every time I pushed the button on your little icon, it would say, "Well, you got to tell him to turn on the camera and the microphone."
Yep. I'll play with the new computer after this and see if I can get the camera working. It's not recognizing it.
Okay. Max, you take care of yourself.
Oh, I'm going to try.
All right.
Everybody take care.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming in. Tell Too Tall hi for me.
Okay, I will.
Okay. All right. Yeah, God bless
Okay,
you.
guys.
Have a good evening.
Everybody
Bye.
take care. We'll see you.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Bye-bye.
Bye.